Welcome to Inside Carbondale. This is the podcast that brings you the latest information about projects and events going on in Carbondale. I'm Amy Fox, the city's public relations officer, and I'm joined by Vamsi Manne, Associate Director of the Student Center at SIU. Today we're talking about SIU's International Festival, which is coming up February 5th through the 9th. Vamsi, how did this event get started?
There is a lot of history with this, and primarily the International Student Council, which is basically comprised of international students from various countries. That council is kind of like the governing body for all international organizations. It's their brainchild, and then with the support of our Center for International Education, this became an event that started several years ago, more than 30 years, and it's kind of built over the years to what it is now. So there's a lot of rich history with it. And then the Student Center got involved with it when John Corker, the former director, took over the Student Center, and he wanted the Student Center to be involved in the process of providing a venue for it, but also wanted us to be supportive of the international students. And so that's how my involvement with this project has started. Basically, Student Center got involved with it to support their programming efforts.
And what kinds of things will you have going on at this year's festival?
So we've always kicked off the festival with a parade of flags. In Woody Hall, where the Center for International Education office is housed, that's where we start assembling all the international students and any supporters of the international community and the events. We start there, march across campus to the Student Center, and then we do what's called like a proclamation, kind of like a kickoff and opening of the festival, and that's usually done by our chancellor. And this year, we're actually involving the mayor of the city of Carbondale as well. So we start with the parade of flags, then the proclamation, and the festival is officially opened. And we've always done a food fair. So food fair is basically countries that are participating in the food fair. The caveat is that they have to also participate in the cultural show. So for them to cook, the students are actually the ones that are cooking the food for the patrons that are attending that event. And that's probably the one time of the year that we allow students to cook the food that they serve. And they have they work very closely with our Student Center dining staff to make that happen. So the parade of flags, proclamation, the food fair, and then we always do what's called a cultural show that's on Friday night to kind of cap off the week. Those are the traditional events, but in the last couple of years, we've added the study abroad fair, and this year we're working with the U.S. Postal Service to add a passport fair component so that students that are interested in traveling and studying abroad can start getting that process going, getting their photos taken, filling out their passport application, things like that.
This year's theme, One World, One Passport. How will people see this theme incorporated throughout all of the activities you have going on campus?
Yeah, we have close to 1,400 international students on campus, representing over 100 countries. And, majority of our students are from China, India, and Saudi Arabia. We still have a large contingent from there. And I think, that the theme just kind of represents the strength of that international community. And for some of our students who may never interact with international students, some of our undergraduate students who are from rural areas, this is their passport to their adventure, to mingle with our international community, kind of immerse themselves and get a glimpse of what's out there beyond Southern Illinois, beyond the state of Illinois. And hopefully they'll get energized enough to kind of take the charge, take the leap to travel, to study abroad, to explore what's beyond our borders. And so through our events, we hope to create that sort of excitement and, encourage students to take some of these chances, learn about other countries, learn about other cultures. And that's how this theme will permeate through the events that we have.
What's it like when you're on campus and you see all of these different countries represented, whether it be at the show, whether it be at the parade of flags? I mean, that has to be really awesome.
Yeah, and that, what's really encouraging is in this area in Southern Illinois University, this is the strength of the campus and the community is that we have a large, vibrant, diverse student population, and we have a very supportive Carbondale community. And I think when we see these students, dressed in their garb or showcasing their food, doing performances, singing, dancing, pretty much accentuates the student experience on campus. For some of them, they may never see this beyond campus life, and so it really is fun and exciting to kind of see our international students getting behind events like this, and that's their one opportunity, and to really show the campus where they're from, what they do, and kind of educate us who may not have traveled to their homeland. So it is fun and exciting for them to show that to us, and for me as a part of the planning committee, this is what we want: is we want students to educate other students. We want students to get excited and show their culture to the Carbondale community. So,
who is this event geared towards?
Truly is something for everybody, and we want not just our international community on campus to really get behind it, but we want students that our undergraduate students to be excited to attend, the faculty and staff, and the Carbondale community. This is our opportunity to showcase the wealth of our international diversity that we have on this campus and our Carbondale community. So it's for everybody of all ages, and some of the patrons that we have returning to this event have been coming for a long time, and they look forward to this because it is something that's fun and very easy for them to access, because we don't have a lot of cultural or ethnic restaurants. We have a few, and they're great, but sometimes we don't have a Saudi Arabian restaurant in Carbondale. We don't have a Nepalese or a Sri Lankan restaurant, and so it's nice for people to experience their culture through food, and so it is for kids, students, faculty, staff, general community, Southern Illinois, for this entire region to kind of get behind and attend.
What do you hope the reaction is, not only from people on campus, but the Carbondale community as well?
I think the big thing, we want people in the community to think about our international students, think about them as an integral part of this community. The big challenge, especially in this political climate, there is a lot of challenge for the students that are here to feel like they're at home. And so we want the reaction that I want from the community is really see these students as people that are here to get an education and be supportive of their experience. We also want the community to be excited about events like this, and we want people to continue showing their support, not just by attending and taking part, but mingling with the international students. So the students also feel like there's a supportive community here in the Southern Illinois region. We also want people to talk about the event. Hopefully bring in somebody new that has never attended this event in the past and have a positive experience that they look forward to the next year. And that's all we want, is we want community to come to campus. We want students on campus to embrace this sort of event and really educate themselves on what's really out there beyond our realm of focus. So just be educated, be excited, and try something.
And that really goes a long way. It's not only a form of educating, but it's also a form of welcoming these students to the community and the campus.
Absolutely. And I think part of the reason a lot of our international students continue to come to SIU is because they enjoy coming here. They have a great experience here as students. And they go back home and they speak highly of their experience at SIU and Southern Illinois. And they send their peers, they send their family members, or the students that come after them because of these experiences. And so we want to make sure that we not only welcome them, but embrace their differences and really foster this community, this international community here on campus and in the Carbondale community.
Once again, we're talking about the International Festival going on February 5th through the 9th at SIU here in Carbondale. And if people have more questions, would like more information about this festival, is there a good website that we can send them to?
Absolutely. studentcenter.siu.edu. If they click on the special programs tab, there is a full schedule of events for the International Fair. We're going to upload our menus of what people can expect to eat at the food fair. And they can kind of start looking through and scrolling and figure out which tables they want to visit. But studentcenter.siu.edu is a great start.
And anything else you'd like to add, Vamsi? Maybe I forgot to ask you.
Well, I will say that the Parade of Flags, the Proclamation, and the Cultural Show are all free events, and they're free for everybody. The food fair is the only event that does cost money, and basically the cost depends on how much you want to try, how many different types of foods you want to try. But it could range anywhere from $3 to $8. So for you to spend that much money, that little amount, to try food from various countries, I think is a good bargain. So a lot of it's free, the food is where it costs, but the food is cooked by our students. So
Come hungry.
Come hungry.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope all of you will join me next time for another episode of Inside Carbondale. Have a great day. If you have feedback or have ideas for future podcasts, feel free to email me at afox@explorecarbondale.com.